マジ殴り
Bandai Namco JC staff.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
me. Morning to you.
It's so sad Steve Jobs died of late.
Like, man, how does it feel like to have one of your favorite animes get turned to shit and realize that it's been like 6 years since the previous season last dropped, which too was a disappointment. But with the benefit of hindsight, somehow comes across as actually competent in comparison to whatever the fuck the new season is. You know, as a guy who's been a fan since 2015, this season is just unacceptable, man. And it legit is one of the worst pieces of television I've seen in a very long time. The show is so bad that it literally gave me severe toothache. Like, holy shit, how is any of this shit possible? Not only from the animation side of things, the story, it's all so much worse than even Season 2's one, which is a step down from Season 1's superb writing and superb animation. This one's just worse all around. It's like, how is any of this shit imaginably possible? It's so bad I literally need to make this unorganized rant about it. So, yeah, before this video starts, please give it a like, comment, sub, it'd be really great, guys. Anyway, let's go into it, and my first problem with this show.
Okay. Damn!
The part that everyone likes to point at is definitely the part where Gargoyle just slides down the hill, and I agree, that is legit one of the worst pieces of animation I've ever seen in my life. But everyone's sleeping on episode 6. The whole episode is literally meant to be this whole introduction battle scene of the heroes who are like Class C whatever, going against the monster organization, and the whole episode literally is just like a slideshow. You literally just see the speed lines, and then you see characters vaguely moving in a loop. They literally copied that one shot from the Suicide Squad with the bullet going through each other, but in that film it's done in a really cool badass way, but in this one just seems so cheaply produced and made. It hurts, bro. I literally have not felt this much pain watching an anime since, like, what? Dead Man Wonderland?
yeah. How big are those titties?
What? No, that's a great show. What I mean is, yeah, The Promised Neverland, yeah, Season 2, yeah, that one's a big piece of shit. I mean, the episode literally has Tats literally be involved, and when you see Tats, you know some really destructive, over-the-top shit is bound to happen, but instead that's a literal slideshow. Then you got Atomic Samurai, like, he's one of the most badass characters in the whole entire lore. Well, his whole entire scene where he just watches the entire monster organization while the noob heroes watches and all is just a slideshow. Just still shots. Just quick cutaways to when it's over. Literally just a shot of him opening his fucking casket. It's meant to be cool, but it ends up looking like the most lamest shit ever. And I'm telling you, if that shot was to happen in Season 1, that legit would be one of the most peak moments of the entire franchise. Like, the only plus I had with that whole entire episode, which is very few, probably is that one shot of that one Olympian chick just choking on that one dude. Look, don't question me, I don't have a fetish or anything. And then immediately after, she just gets jumped by a bunch of monsters. Like, I don't know, ever since seeing that one JoJo meme, whenever I see that type of scenario play out to any entertainment product ever, I literally just laugh like crazy, because, bro, it's just so simple, but it works. Flashy Flash is there. Look, no homo. I mean, the Rhino guy,
You're a rhinoceros!
he's a pretty damn funny character because all he does is just rank people like he's some movie critic or something. Minus 15, minus 20, minus 30 points for having no furry porn. You know, that kind of jazz.
When a rhino sees his opportunity, he doesn't hesitate. He charges in and takes it.
And for some reason, the episode gave him like a mini flashback. Yeah, the eyeball, pink dude, whatever. He kind of said, oh yeah, bro, you're strong.
Psych!
And then he's just like, oh my god, that eye dude, he lied to me. How dare he? And then the show just immediately moves on. So they essentially just pulled an Akame shit for no discernible reason. Like, bro, all the other fight scenes this season are just absolute crap. With maybe one of the better ones being that one fight with Gargoyle going against those two monsters. I like that part where the Gargoyle guy had to tell that stupid, mentally challenged fat kid to get out of the way, then immediately he gets slashed. I don't know, it's just funny. So episode 8 happened, and then we got the grief sculpture, the dazzling prince himself, Flashy Flash. Look, I haven't seen a character this fine since Mosquito Girl from Season 1. Who starred in quite possibly the best action scene this season had so far. And why is that? well has to do with the fact that it's very dynamic. There's actual motion happening, there's some really fun choreography. It actually had tension, something that all the other fights this season lacked. And again, that's partly due to the fact that the animation is fairly competent. Again, it is not close to as good as it was in season 1. God, nothing can compare to the hype levels that is season 1, but it's up there with season 2's animation. It looks like an average fight scene from Jujutsu Kaisen. It also helps that the fight scene really highlights just how cool and absolutely much of a Chad this Flashy Flash dude is, because, you know, throughout season 1 and 2, he's always been kind of in the background, kind of there, you know, like he's just that one really strangely overly attractive dude who's just sitting down, cross his arms, aura farming like he's real Hayabusa or some shit. But then this episode just highlights just how absolutely insane this dude is in terms of his power levels. That he makes these two already powerful monster ninjas look like absolute chumps. Absolutely, like, these guys have to go to their absolutely most, like, god tier form just to fight this dude because they thought, my god, this guy actually is challenged. And proceeds to absolutely eradicate the motherfuckers. In fact, his biggest challenge was just trying to figure out where the hell he needed to go, which honestly feels very reminiscent to how Saitama literally had trouble fighting out that one mosquito in episode 1 from the original season. So it felt like a kind of like a strange parallel, or at least callback, to how these overly powerful and broken characters literally struggle with the most mundane and relatable stuff that us regular folks have to go through. You see, stuff like that's why I love One Punch Man as a whole. They kind of ground the absurdity of the universe by giving these really powerful characters some really normie quirks. Because again, like, we can all relate to that moment where we just get lost somewhere, or we're just trying to kill that really annoying pest that just keeps on flying away from our clutches. Yeah, it was all good.
Snap back to reality.
Back to Mediocrity with episode 9, where it's just the Child Emperor against that one Phoenix Man dude, who he's a funny character because of his whole concept of like, oh, he's just some television villain who just keeps on dying over and over. Now the more he dies, the more he reborns to become even more stronger, so it becomes a bit kind of absurd that the only way you can probably kill him is by literally just annihilating his last atom. It's kind of like, where did that come from? It doesn't make any sense, but it's One Punch Man. Anything goes. But besides that, the animation literally just went down to complete shit because it's just stilted. The scenarios were just kind of boring. I mean, the ideas were awesome, but the way it was animated was just back to how shit it was in episode pretty much throughout most of the season, bro. It's like, come on. It's like, why is this season so inconsistent, man? Plus, it had that really annoying little shit in it throughout the episode that made it minus 52 points. Let me get to episode 10, which, honest to God, this show shat itself. Like, this has gotta be some of the worst animation I've seen in my entire life. Like, holy shit, how is this acceptable? There is not one, not two, but 3 times where they just cut away from Zombie Man doing any fucking crazy shit because the animators got all fucking lazy to animate the whole fight scene. He'd be talking about, oh man, I'm about to go and cook this nigga. The next part is, man, I'm tired, bro. Let me take a lollipop. Oh yeah, quick correction here, but for the whole lollipop thing, he actually was using cigarettes in the original source material, but for some reason they gave him a lollipop here. And that's mostly because the animators literally do not have the budget to animate him pulling out a cigar and smoking. It doesn't get any better after that, as you got that whole fight scene with the whole Atomic Samurai gang going against those soldiers who got brainwashed by the one BDSM Wordle, who, by the way, is not as smashable as the mosquito lady from episode 1, season 1. And that is the truth! And now you got even the worst part, where you just got still frames of these guys gliding across the screen. Literally after image effects of swords and fucking slashes on screen make it have this weird illusion of it looking like, oh, they're moving, but they're actually not. Because it's literally just a PNG getting dragged across the screen doing fucking nothing. And then you got that one
Amai mask.
dude who... What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? And then he's like, I'm a monster, and she's like, and they just come off screen to her getting absolutely eradicated. This episode had 4 cutaways. What the fuck is this? And guess what? Saitama does not appear, but he's more or less like a fucking cameo in his own fucking TV show. Because most of the time you see him, you just see shots of him saying, I wonder what's going on. What the fuck is going on? Nigga, where the fuck is Saitama in this One Punch Man show? It feels like he doesn't even exist, because instead you just have a whole bunch of characters talking. That's what this whole season is so far. Talking. talking. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up, because I know that's the easiest way to say my animation. It's like, oh my god. It's not okay. And I am not okay with this. And then you got episodes 11 and 12, the last 2 episodes of this godforsaken season. And are they any better?
No.
Episode 11 has some brief moments of decent animations, then it just quickly goes back to a slideshow.
Best at it.
I mean, I liked that one moment where Zombie Man asked the homeless god about his backstory so he can have time to regenerate himself because he's getting absolutely creamed, which I think is a fun play on how in so many shonen animes they got the villains explain their power sets and how they got so powerful, how they can counteract it, because it actually makes some plausible sense as to why the villain himself, since he has such a huge ego, will continue talking, and why the hero decides not to intervene because the guy is gravely injured. That's a nice touch, I like that. And the episode has to end with Saitama just walking, because this whole show has conditioned us to just expect nothing. He's just a cameo. Hopefully episode 12 will change that. So episode 12 happens, and finally Saitama is there to do something, and alas, that's season 3 of One Punch Man.
What is this?
When season 2 had these problems, you'd think that they will learn their lesson after all these years of hiatus, but no, they did not learn their fucking shit. They decided to double down on it to make one of the worst animations you can see for such a prolific IP. IP, mind you, that a guy like Bill fucking Burr reference, which is fucking crazy in hindsight. Now One Punch Man is a complete clownery of its own self. And this is mainly to do with how the IP owners literally do not give a shit about how the product is released. They just want to remind the public that One Punch Man still exists.
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed.
Like, you got all your big Demon Slayers and Chainsaw Mans and all that crap, but hey, One Punch Man, we still own it. But then, why bother with him when you're going to produce a product this unbelievably boring, right? Like, you got really boring ass writing, really boring ass scenarios, really bad animation. Your main character barely does anything throughout the whole fucking show. It's just exposition, the show. That's what it should be called. One frame, man. But you know, with the benefit of hindsight, we might actually have a decent season 4. Like, hopefully the animators themselves will be able to cook more. Maybe they can actually work throughout next year to animate this damn season.
Donald Trump, please save me.
And if that isn't the case, they should just pack their bags and get the hell out of Dodge, because this IP is absolutely cooked. Because it's clearly not worth the effort of trying to adapt all these manga stories if literally they're not going to give a shit about the animation anymore. Which is a damn shame, because it's a complete far cry from when the show first started and took the whole world by storm. And this is a sad revelation that's happened. So I'm not going to be extremely nihilistic about season 4. I am going to have my hope for it, because I still love One Punch Man. And I do plan on reading the manga pages after this crap of a season, because I do think the artwork is great. And the scenarios that the show was entailing is probably going to be very peak in the manga form. Plus, like, Mosquito Girl makes a return in the manga and she wears an apron.
What the fuck?